Yo, yo, what is good, world? It's your boy Gio, man. Y'all already know, man. I'm back with another one, man. This one right here is crazy, y'all. This is about the TikTok ban thing, man, that's going on. Everybody that got TikTok, man, hopefully they got another platform, man, because we don't know how this gonna play out. But if you don't have another platform and you only relying on TikTok and it gets banned, man, you know how many people are gonna be mad because they not getting what they was getting, man. That's crazy. Then, they really trying to get on the CEO of TikTok, man. They saying that, the things that kids are seeing is not right, and they're saying it's a lot of misinformation on a lot of different topics, man. So, they trying to ban it, man. And you got everybody and their mama trying to buy it, man. All the big dogs, man. And they saying right now the price, man, that they looking at is the $20 billion range for TikTok, man. They trying to buy that, man. They're trying to get it so that way the US can still have it. Now, mind y'all, if y'all don't remember, yesterday it was working fine, and then next thing you know, it went out. They said it was supposed to be on the 19th, which is supposed to be today, but it went out yesterday. Then magically it came back, and now they're saying that, we got until tonight. And, a lot of people don't like it, Fortunately for me, my primary is YouTube, and then TikTok is like my secondary or third or something like that, But man, it's gonna affect a lot of people, man, a lot of companies, a lot of businesses, and things of such. For me, I say it's gonna be funny for a lot of the females and stuff that try to take advantage of it, and they be showing what they showing just to get the views and trying to get that bag, man, and that's all they know. So they might have to go back to OnlyFans, man. But what's y'all take on this? Do y'all think somebody's gonna actually get this, and if so, who do y'all think is gonna get it? I mean, you got Mr. Beast talking about it. You got Trump talking about it. One of the guys from Shark Tank, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't want to say his name wrong, but he's trying to get it. They're saying Trump's trying to get it. Elon Musk is interested. Man, you got a lot of people, man, that's really trying to get this. And whoever get it, believe me, they're going to get that bag, man, in return, off that $20 billion deal for TikTok. They're saying TikTok is more popular than anything. And they're saying that your boy Mark Zuckerberg, he's going to be really upset because he know that TikTok is gonna be way better than what he have. And y'all know the app that he have. I shouldn't have to tell y'all. But yeah, man, I think it's just the algorithm, what people like, and then when you swipe and you see all different categories and topics and things of such. So it keeps people going and it keeps them on it when you swiping like that and you're seeing a lot of different things that's going on, and the shorts is what's really making it so popular because you got like YouTube that got long form videos, which is harder to get viewers. And then, you got your shorts where everybody watch it because they can just swipe through. That's why YouTube went and did the shorts as well, because they in competition. Now, you got to understand all of these apps are in competition. And when TikTok was announced that it could be banned, everybody was just going crazy. I'm talking about going crazy, and it seemed like TikTok blew up even more from that. So it's just showing you that how popular it is, man. And if it goes south, man, it's gonna be crazy. But I think that it will be safe because it's too much money for people to be making, and you gotta understand these billionaires, they want to keep making money and they want to keep being able to sit down and not have to do nothing. So, that investment right there, they're not going to let that go to the waste. Whether they all have to come together and, work on a percentage of the revenue, the ROI, they're going to work something out to continue to have TikTok. I think personally, it could be banned for an extended a period of time, maybe like it did yesterday. And then it came back on today. But I think overall somebody's gonna get it. It's crazy how they snatching it away from your boy, man. And they said that he used to work for Mark Zuckerberg, and now he got TikTok, and now he's uh, in competition with who he was interning for, which is crazy to hear that too. So anything is possible. Anything is possible, y'all. So never think that y'all can't do that or do anything that y'all want to do. You got to know you can do it, and it's gonna happen. You're gonna execute it perfectly, but know that you can do it. If you don't, you're gonna have performing, and you're not gonna do your full potential as you could. So you got to know you can do it, and that's what he did. And he started TikTok, and look what he's doing now. Yeah, you could say he is getting banned, but regardless, if it got banned, he still look how much bread he got. So that's just to let you know. So I'm giving y'all an update on what's going on with this TikTok. I'm not gonna give y'all all the tea. Y'all gotta watch this video. Let me know what y'all think, man, on these discussions and things of such that these people are saying. Then you had to have a nerve to like, before I end this now, this is gonna be the funny one. I mentioned that all of these high dog, big dog caliber people are trying to buy TikTok, right? Then you got a nerve to hear somebody like Soldier Boy talking about he want to buy TikTok. Like, come on, man. If that's not funny, I don't know what is. He probably, if he was to buy TikTok, he probably have all the billionaires invest their money, and he probably walk out with like 1%. To be honest, and I'm not trying to be mean, but everybody definitely was laughing about that. Then your boy had to come on, man. Meek Mill. Meek Mill himself, Diddy's fun toy, boy toy, the Meeky Millie Meek, talking about he'll buy TikTok. Like, come on, dude. You ain't got Diddy no more, bro. And I know you ain't got his big dog boy toy, Clive Davis or none of them guys. So I guess they just trying to make a fool of themselves and go viral or something, because that was just funny to hear Meek Mill and Soldier Boy talking about buying. Like, come on, man. Let's be real. But anyway, y'all check this one out. Let me know what y'all think, man, in the comments, man, about this whole entire situation. Do y'all think TikTok is going to be banned? Do y'all think it's going to be saved? If it do get saved, who do y'all think is going to get TikTok or buy TikTok? Whether if it was one of the people I said or not, who do y'all think is going to get TikTok? Let me know what y'all think in the comments. And then what do y'all think about Meek Mill and Soldier Boy putting in their comment about buying TikTok too? Is it funny, or do y'all think they could really do it because they got some big people behind them pushing them? Let's talk about it in the comments, man. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Let's share this, man. Let's get in the algorithm, man. And I appreciate y'all always. Love and support. I gotta say it, man. And to the next time, man, y'all take care. Stay safe, stay warm, stay happy, stay healthy. I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one, man. I'm out.
I could have banned TikTok. I had it banned just about. I could have gotten it done. But I said, you know what? But I'll leave it up to you. I didn't push them too hard because, let them do their own research and development. And they decided not to do it. But as you know, I was at the point where I could have gotten it done if I wanted to. I sort of said, you guys decide. You make that decision, because it's a tough decision to make. Frankly, there are a lot of people on TikTok that love it. There are a lot of young kids on TikTok who will go crazy without it. There are a lot of users. There's, a lot of good, and there's a lot of bad with TikTok. But the thing I don't like is that without TikTok, you can make Facebook bigger. And I consider Facebook to be an enemy of the people, along with a lot of the media.
TikTok is worthless. Worthless. If I don't approve it, it has to close. I learned that from the people that own it. If I don't do the deal, it's worthless, worth nothing. If I do the deal, it's worth maybe $1 trillion, $1 trillion. So if I do the deal I'm talking about doing it for the United States. If I do the deal for the United States, then I think we should get half.
The TikTok CEO.
In other words, I think the U.S. should be entitled to get half of TikTok. And congratulations, TikTok has a good partner.
Did he say that he's open to that idea?
Who?
The CEO of TikTok is around.
Oh, I think he'd probably like it. Because he's got nothing.
Would the U.S. government buy a portion of TikTok then, or how would it get that 50%?
No, you'd take 50% of TikTok for the approval that TikTok could continue in business. And they'd have a great partner. The U.S. would be their partner. But the U.S. essentially would be paid for doing that half of the value of TikTok.
Would there be a private sector owner as
Could
well?
be, yeah, it could be a lot. Tell you what, every rich person has called me about TikTok.
You wanted to block TikTok. Why did you change your mind?
Because I got to use it. And remember, TikTok is largely about kids, young kids. If China's going to get information about young kids, I don't know. I think, to be honest with you, I think we have bigger problems than that. Essentially, with TikTok, I have the right to either sell it or close it. And we'll make that determination. And we may have to get an approval from China, too. I'm not sure. But I'm sure they'll approve it. And if they don't approve it, it would be somewhat of a hostile act, I think. But it's good for China if it gets approved.
So you're not guaranteeing that TikTok will be around after 90 days from today?
No, but it could very well be. It makes sense for it to be.
In a unanimous decision, the Supreme Court said the TikTok ban stands, rejecting the company's free speech argument. The court upholding the law passed in April that says the video sharing app had to divest from its Chinese-based parent company ByteDance or effectively be shut down in the U.S. as of this coming Sunday.
Always remember this moment. When you think of the future, oh, is the government going to do the right thing? No, they're not.
Some TikTok users quick to make their feelings known.
All 9 Supreme Court justices, you guys are mean boldies.
But the Supreme Court said TikTok's very popularity is part of what makes it a threat to national security, noting a foreign adversary's ability to leverage its control over the platform to collect vast amounts of personal data from 170 million U.S. users. And while the court's ruling was clear, what actually happens next is anything but. Today, the Biden administration's saying TikTok should remain available to Americans, but simply under American ownership. With a sale by Sunday seemingly all but impossible, the administration says now it won't implement the very law President Biden himself signed. Rather, it will punt next steps to the Trump administration. That move giving TikTok hope. The company's CEO posted this message today.
I want to thank President Trump for his commitment to work with us to find a solution that keeps TikTok available in the United States.
As president in his first term, Trump tried to ban TikTok, but has signaled support for it more recently. Today, Trump says he spoke by phone with China's President Xi about the app and posted to social media that his decision on TikTok will be made in the not-too-distant future.
And Savannah and our legal correspondent Laura Jarrett joining me now. Savannah, what are your sources telling you about what could happen on Sunday?
Yeah, Lester, one source just told me, quote, it is totally up in the air. There is a chance it could look exactly like it does right now. No change. TikTok is in active conversations with all the companies that essentially make the app work to see if they're willing to continue providing those services. And going dark would be a last resort.
And Laura, that gets back to the idea of this legal jeopardy for those who do business.
Absolutely. They're still at risk as of today. We're talking companies like Apple and Google that actually host TikTok. Now, the president-elect, President Trump, could decide not to enforce this law. But as of today, they are still legally on the hook. Should the political winds change, on the hook for massive fines, Lester.
All right, Laura and Savannah, thanks to both of you.
In a matter of days, one of the most popular social media apps in the country could be forced to pull the plug. That's if the Supreme Court doesn't grant it a legal reprieve. John Yang is here to explore TikTok's legal battle and its looming deadline to cut its ties with China.
Jeff, while the justices heard arguments over the looming U.S. TikTok ban inside the court, outside, some influencers gathered on the steps to live stream their support for the platform. There are more than 170 million TikTok users in the United States. That's about half the population. In last year's presidential campaign, both candidates used it to court young voters. But concerns about its Chinese ownership led Congress to pass a law that would ban it in the United States on January 19th unless its parent company sells it. Bobby Allen covers technology for NPR, and Marcia Coyle is PBS News Supreme Court analyst. Bobby, let me start with you. What does this law actually do on the 19th? The TikTok lawyer today kept saying that TikTok would go dark. Is that an overstatement?
Yeah, on January 19th, Apple and Google will be legally forced to remove TikTok from app stores. And that means new users can't download it. And ByteDance in China will not be able to send the app software updates. Also, web hosting services that provide backend support for TikTok will have to sever ties. That means it's not going to have any cloud support. That's going to be a huge problem for all of the people taking videos, commenting, trying to use TikTok, because basically it will cripple TikTok's infrastructure.
And Marcia, in the arguments today, what were the justices focusing on?
John, they were really focused on the two reasons that Congress and the administration have given to justify the law, as Bobby just stated it. That had to do with the fact that the Chinese government, through its very close alignment with ByteDance, the China-based owner of TikTok, may engage in covert content manipulation, as well as its collection of the data of private citizens, Americans, about 177 million Americans and their contacts, and use both of those to undermine national security.
There was also a First Amendment argument, wasn't there?
Well, actually, the guts of this case is whether the law itself violates the First Amendment speech rights of TikTok USA and the users of TikTok. They're called creators, those who put content up on TikTok. And today, during the arguments, it was very interesting because there was a lot of skepticism about the first justification, the Chinese government engaging in manipulation, covert manipulation of content, and whether there actually was a speech interest here to look at. As some of the justices said, and I'll point in particular to Chief Justice Roberts, he said Congress didn't care about the expression on TikTok, meaning the speech or the ideas on TikTok. Congress didn't want to stop TikTok, he said. What Congress wanted to do was to stop China's control of TikTok. So he was very skeptical that there was a speech right here. Also, there were justices who did recognize there were speech rights belonging to TikTok USA and the users of TikTok. But they questioned, for example, Justice Elena Kagan questioned whether those speech impediments or restrictions were really substantial, because the law itself, she said, really was targeted at ByteDance and its divestiture.
Were the justices more skeptical of one side or the other? Did they tip their hand at all about what they might do?
Well, I think they were very tough on both sides, but I think what resounded most with the justices was that second interest that the government offered for the law, the collection of the private information of American citizens. Justice Brett Kavanaugh, for example, he said that's a huge concern now and in the future. As the government pointed out, that data, private data, could be used by China in the future to blackmail future CIA officers. It could be used to try to turn certain Americans into spies. And so I think when you looked overall at the arguments, that was something that may persuade a majority to very much uphold this law.
And Bobby, if that happens, if this law is upheld, is there any indication what TikTok and its owners would do as the 19th approaches?
That's really the million-dollar question. And we don't know. TikTok and its parent company ByteDance are in this really precarious amount of uncertainty right now. If the law is upheld, President-elect Donald Trump will not yet be in office. And, between January 19th, the start date, and when Trump is sworn in the 20th, there's going to be 24 hours of limbo. And I have sources inside of Google and inside of Apple who say, look, we've heard from our general counsels that we're not about to be out of compliance with a federal law on the books. So they are planning, the two big tech companies, to remove TikTok on the 19th. And I think a big question is, even if the law is upheld, can he extend the deadline? How do you, this came up in the court today, right? How do you extend the deadline on a ban that has already started? So lots of unknowns, but it could get really serious really fast for TikTok.
And actually, at the end of last year, the president-elect filed a brief in the court asking them to delay this so that he could have time to try to negotiate a deal, as he put it. And is there a chance that he just might, if the law is upheld, he just might not enforce it?
That's a possibility. Trump, remember, was the person who started the TikTok ban movement during his first term, but now coming into office, he wants to be TikTok's savior. And it is within the realm of possibility that he instructs his Justice Department to not enforce this law. If you look at the language of the law Congress passed, it puts a lot of leeway in the hands of the president. The president will be the one who will be interpreting and instructing his administration to enforce the law. So a lot will come down to what is Trump going to do once he's in office, regardless of what the high court decides.
Bobby Allen of NPR, Marcia Coyle, our Supreme Court analyst for PBS News. Thank you both very much.
Thanks for having me.
John.
Over the last few years, we have invested to keep your data safe and our platform free from outside manipulation. We have committed that we will continue to do so. This legislation, if signed into law, will lead to a ban of TikTok in the United States. This bill gives more power to a handful of other social media companies. It will also take billions of dollars out of the pockets of creators and small businesses. It will put more than 300,000 American jobs at risk, and it will take away your TikTok.
TikTok will be banned unless it is sold, because it has become a tool for the Chinese to collect information and do surveillance and endanger our national security. Can you commit that you will enforce that law promptly and effectively? And I ask this question because President Trump's pick for your Solicitor General in the Department of Justice went to the United States Supreme Court arguing that the ban should be delayed. Will you commit to enforce that law on your first day when you are if you are confirmed?
Senator, as I discussed with you during our meeting, that is pending litigation within the Department of Justice.
Well, it's pending litigation, but will you enforce that law?
I can't discuss pending litigation, but I will talk to all the career prosecutors who are handling the case. Absolutely, Senator. Discuss with them.
Thank you.
One of the things that is going on here is how quickly the Supreme Court wants to rule on the TikTok ban.
What does that say to you?
It says to me that there's a possibility of a reprieve. At least they're not going to let it go into effect without giving TikTok a fair hearing. It's interesting to see who gets relief in an expeditious way from this Supreme Court and who does not.
What is TikTok's argument? Free speech?
TikTok's argument is, yes, it's free speech, that it's been singled out for the way in which it does business, and that content creators deserve an opportunity to put their speech on the platforms that they want to.
Mr. Chu, do you agree that TikTok is controlled by the CCP?
No.
Okay, I thought you'd say that. I disagree, as you thought I might say. Here's why I disagree. Your parent company is ByteDance, right?
That's correct.
It is correct. So, many of the workers who work at ByteDance, they're Communist Party members, right?
I wouldn't know.
Well, I think, for example, the chief editor at ByteDance, Zhang Vuping, is the Communist Party secretary, correct?
He works on the Chinese business, not on TikTok.
Right. He works for ByteDance, the parent company.
He works on the Chinese business.
Right. The parent company of TikTok.
The Chinese business is called Douyin.
Yeah, but it's all associated with ByteDance, right?
So ByteDance owns a number of businesses.
Right. You all report to ByteDance. Everybody's part of ByteDance. Okay? And do you know of any other employees that work for ByteDance that are part of the Chinese Communist Party?
Like I said, ByteDance owns Chinese businesses and they operate in China.
You don't know how many, but you acknowledge many must be card-carrying members of the CCP, right?
In the Chinese business, yes.
Yeah, I mean, the CCP holds what's called a golden share in ByteDance that allows the CCP to control one board seat in ByteDance. That's publicly
That's
reported.
not correct.
It's not correct. It's been publicly reported. They admitted to it.
You can, on our website, we have updated it so we can give people more transparent information on this. They have a share in a subsidiary that is only for the Chinese business. It has nothing to do with TikTok. And it's for the purposes of content licensing in China.
So there's not an internal CCP committee, which is a regular thing that happens in China. They have a CCP committee internally inside the company.
I run TikTok. I cannot represent the Chinese business.
Talking about ByteDance. No arrangement in ByteDance? So here's the main point of concern. China's 2017 National Intelligence Law states very clearly that, quote, any organization or citizen shall support, assist, and cooperate with state intelligence work in accordance with the law and maintain the secrecy of all knowledge of state intelligence work. In other words, ByteDance and also your TikTok employees that live in China, they must cooperate with Chinese intelligence whenever they are called upon. And if they are called upon, they're bound to secrecy. That would include you. So, Mr. Chu, if the CCP tells ByteDance to turn over all data that TikTok has collected inside the U.S., even within Project Texas, do they have to do so, according to Chinese law?
Congressman, first, I'm Singaporean.
That's fine, but there are employees of yours and ByteDance in China.
We understand this concern. In my opening statement, we said we hear these concerns. We didn't try to avoid them or trivialize them. We built something where we take that data and put it out of reach. This is what we did. We put it out of reach.
Out of reach, but they own you.
No, we put it out of reach by storing them.
ByteDance owns TikTok. If ByteDance is and the CCP owns ByteDance because the CCP owns everybody in China. And so by law, they can make them do whatever they want, and they say that by law, you can't tell anyone about it. So they can make you hand over that data. Is that correct?
Data is stored here in American soil by an American company overseen by American
We thought that, but leaked audio from 80 internal TikTok meetings shows that U.S. user data has been repeatedly accessed from China when you said it hasn't been. And here's the other thing, following back on my colleague's line of questioning, in your own privacy policy, it says that you may share information within your so-called corporate group. Is ByteDance part of that corporate group?
If you're talking about the share of the entity with the share, like I shared with the previous.
Is ByteDance part of the corporate group?
ByteDance as a holding company is part of the corporate group, yes.
It's part of the corporate group.
Yeah.
Okay, so your own privacy policy says you have to share data with ByteDance. And if the CCP says, hey, ByteDance, you're going to do what we say, and you can't tell anyone about it because by law, according to that 2017 national intelligence law, they have to do it. That's our concern. Maybe you haven't done it yet, but my point is that you might have to. And that's where our concerns come from. I mean, over 300 TikTok employees have worked for China's state-run propaganda media. That's just from looking at their LinkedIn profiles. Okay, so and my last point is this. I want to say this to all the teenagers out there and TikTok influencers who think we're just old and out of touch and don't know what we're talking about, trying to take away your favorite app. You may not care that your data is being accessed now, but it will be one day when you do care about it. And here's the real problem. With data comes power. They can choose what you see and how you see it. They can make you believe things that are not true. They can encourage you to engage in behavior that will destroy your life. Even if it is not happening yet, it could in the future. The long-term goal of the Chinese Communist Party is the demise of the American power, and that starts with our youth. At any moment, they could demand that all of TikTok's data be used to design an AI algorithm with the sole purpose of promoting Chinese interests and destroying our society from within. You want to know why why Democrats and Republicans have come together on this? That's why we are so concerned. Thank you, and I yield back.
You said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore. No, I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two and a half years in Singapore.
Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Let me ask you some hopefully simple questions.
Mr. Chow, if I plug in my earphones into my phone while they're in my ear, can TikTok know what's going on in my brain, please? Can you assure me, or can you at least tell me, if you turn on airplane mode on a plane, can TikTok talk to the plane, please?
This is not an attempt to ban TikTok. It's an attempt to make TikTok better. Tic-tac-toe, a winner.
Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand that.
Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
Mr. Chow, if I plug in my earphones into my phone while they're in my ear, can TikTok know what's going on in my brain, please?
Mr. Chu, does TikTok access the home Wi-Fi network?
Only if the user turns on the Wi-Fi. I'm sorry, I may not understand the...
So if I have a TikTok app on my phone and my phone is on my home Wi-Fi network, does TikTok access that network?
It will have to access the network to get connections to the internet, if that's the question.
Is it possible then that it could access other devices on that home Wi-Fi network?
Congressman, we do not do anything that is beyond any industry norms. I believe the answer to your...
Mr. Cho, can you assure me, or can you at least tell me, if you turn on airplane mode on a plane, can TikTok talk to the plane, please?
Sarah, that's right. The Supreme Court here upholding the TikTok ban by Congress, writing, there is no doubt for more than 170 million Americans, TikTok offers a distinctive and expansive outlet for expression, means of engagement, and source of community. But Congress has determined that divestiture is necessary to address its well-supported national security concerns regarding TikTok's data collection practices and relationship with a foreign adversary. For the foregoing reasons, we conclude that the challenged provisions do not violate the petitioner's First Amendment rights. The judgment of the United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia is affirmed. It is so ordered. So remember, the TikTok was challenging the law passed by Congress by arguing that it violated the First Amendment and freedom of speech. What the court is saying here is that these national security interests and concerns over data collection by a foreign adversary, in this case, override those concerns. We're seeing a number of concurring decisions. Justice Sotomayor also writing a brief concurring with the majority, saying that she joins, and she says, I see no reason to assume without deciding that the act implicates the First Amendment because our precedent leaves no doubt that it does. TikTok engages in expressive activity by compiling and curating material on its platform. Sotomayor writing, I agree that the act survives petitioner's First Amendment challenge.